Hey, this is Bing from WonderBing Travels, also known as Beth, and I'm here to help you with all the things connected to your solo road tripping adventures. For today, we're going to talk about how to prevent disaster by not considering your head and your heart basic needs in everyday life, because you need to take those on the road with you. So we tend to think of a road trip as this dreamy experience and magical spaces and all of that. And you know what? That's true. It can be true, but not always. It's like being at home, except everything around you is different. Okay, so bear with me because it is kind of like being at home because not everything is different. There are still things you need, basic things that you need them at home, you need them wherever you go. And if you don't plan for those things, it can be kind of a disaster because you can be super miserable and nobody wants that on their road trip. That we all have things that we build into our days personally because we know if we don't, it's just going to be a struggle. And being on the road means changing everything else about what you're doing, but still, we have things that we need to increase the likelihood that everything's going to be okay. So if you're a coffee or maybe just a caffeine girl of any kind, you don't really like to think about a day that stretches till noon until you get that warm cup in your hand. Or the thought of a day without a shower is just horrible to you. It may not even be worth getting out of bed for, to be honest. We all have our stuff. Some we're more likely to admit to than others, but we all have our stuff. If you do just a bit of peace of mind for your heart and for your head, you're going to set yourself up for plenty of freedom and wonder on the road. I know this because I have done it, and I have done it both ways. I have made lots of mistakes, and I think those are important for me, and I'd like to save you from doing them because making these mistakes on the road and not setting myself up for success ended up not in disaster, but just in some miserable days. And so I'd really like to help you not have that happen. So personally, these are the things that I need every day. And your list may be very different, but just to give you a place to start brainstorming a little bit. So there are really about 5 or 6 things that I need. So the first thing is I'd really like to have a shower sometime during the day. COVID taught me that I don't have to have a shower every day, but preferably that would be great. I do, however, feel the need to have caffeine coursing through my veins at some point during the morning. It just makes everything better. It's not an absolute, and I do think you have to build in some flexibility to all of these because going on the road doesn't mean taking your entire house with you and just replicating your life. It is meant to be different. It is meant to be adventurous and fun and all of those things. But still, those daily needs. So, a few more for me. I really covet a long walk or a hike every day. I don't have to have it necessarily, but I've got to get out of the car and get moving and explore. I have an explorer's heart, and I just really need to stop looking through the windshield and take that barrier away occasionally and just go for a good long walk. I also really covet time at my destination before sunset. I don't like arriving somewhere in the dark. In the summer, that means I have really long days to work with. And it's not that I mind driving in the dark so much as that the whole point of a road trip is to see things. And so if it's dark, I can't see anything. So I really like getting where I'm going. I do a lot of camping, and so I do not enjoy setting up a campsite in the dark. But even if I'm just going to an Airbnb or a hotel or any other situation, I really like to see where I am. Traveling by yourself is one of those, and we'll talk about safety measures in other videos, but I think it's wise to arrive someplace in the daylight as well, just so you get your bearings and understand exactly where you are. I also really enjoy having at least one touch point with a family member during the day. It may just be a text. I often text my kids at the end of the day and just let them know where I landed so they know where I am, or check in with someone else, my parents or sisters or somebody, just to say hey. And sometimes it's because I'm in a wonderful place that I want to share. And so I will do just a little FaceTime with them. So those are really those are the things that I feel like are needs for me during the course of the day. I don't have to check. I don't have a little checklist where I have to check all those boxes. I know me, and you, and setting yourself up to ensure that those things can happen on any given day. Now the rest of it is just joy, right? I've got the things that I need, and so now I can move on and enjoy the rest of my day. So WonderBing Travel is all about equipping and inspiring women to solo road trip. I've been writing on this topic for quite a few years now, and I've recently written a book called There's Wonder Around the Bend. It's an inspiring guide to solo road tripping, and I'd love to share a chapter of it with you today. So even though the book is not out yet, you can go to wonderbingtravel.com/sneak peek. You'll find the link here below, and subscribe. And that way you will get not just the chapter, but you'll also get lots of other information on a weekly basis, just sharing tips and lists and videos and all the different things that are always pertinent to traveling and helping me equip you to feel more confident as you travel alone across the road. So let's talk a little bit more about you. Just as every other facet of preparing and experiencing wonder on the road is individual to you, your daily needs are unique to you as well. So my list might be a good place to get you started, but yours may be entirely different. You might not like caffeine, which I don't understand that, but it could be a thing, right? Anyway, the specifics are really endless, and if you're more extroverted, it may be that you need to spend time with people during the day. You need to have conversations, and you need to sit in a restaurant and make friends, or you need to walk down the road and make friends, whatever it is. That's not me, but it might be you. So you need to think about what fills your cup, what makes you feel confident and competent and excited about the day, and just settled, I think, as well, is another good thing to think about. Maybe your preference is to stay in a hotel every night. Again, not mine. But if that's your thing, then that's something you need to prepare for ahead of time. And I can share tons of tools to help you with that in other videos, and also in my book. Maybe you just need Oreos. I get that. I can understand that. I have a friend who needs Reese's peanut butter cups, like needs them. So no judgment. If you need Oreos or Starbucks, again, no judgment. I once, through confession, I have broken my Starbucks habit now, but I once drove 40 miles out of my way in the middle of nowhere in Georgia to find a Starbucks. That's what I'm talking about, friends. The need. There are needs. And at that point in my life, I felt like that was a need. And you know what? The rest of my day was great. So just saying, find your needs. It may be that you have to have your podcasts, whether it's true crime or whatever it might be. Just make sure that you think about those things ahead of time. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to just give yourself some time. And in fact, you can just jot those down right now. So if you want to think about what are the things you need, make a list, tuck it away. When you're ready, pull it out, and we'll figure out how to work that into your planning. So I hope you'll let WonderBing Travel be your guide for freedom and for wonder as you plan and execute a solo road trip. I'm here for all of it. I have done it many times, traveled tens of thousands of miles, and really enjoy the preparation as well as the road trip itself in so many different ways. It is one of the most fulfilling and transformative things that I think that you can do for yourself as an adult. And that may sound a little nuts, but try it, and I bet you won't disagree with me. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check out the socials, WonderBing Travel on Instagram and on Facebook. And also check out my other videos. Here, there's another good one here. If this is the first video you've seen, here's another one that was sort of my getting started video that gives you a good overview of what WonderBing Travel is all about. And then keep a lookout for the follow-up to this one, which will be the heart list. So there's a head list and there's a heart list. And I don't want you to miss the other half. And I would argue that it is equally important to fulfill the needs of your heart every day. So stay tuned to hear what that's all about.